Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today, what I am doing is I am wrapping up the Gemini season of the Decan walk that I am on. I am currently on a Decan walk where I am walking through the 36 decans of astrology as they relate to tarot. Each decan is assigned to a minor arcana card. And so I've just been sort of walking through a few books and resources on that as we go through each decan every 10-day mark. If you want to know more about that, you can check out my Wrapping Up Aries season video where I explain it in depth, or you can check out Marlena Teresa. She is sort of managing a big group of people over on Boho Tarot's Facebook page and also on her channel. So I will post her video or I'll post her playlist below where you can see all of the things that's going on there as well, because I've been kind of dipping in and out of that as well. So but as far as what I'm doing here, what I do with these videos is I just kind of wrap up what I learned, the energy of the season for me, and then decks I used just so that I can have something to look back on. It's kind of like a video diary for myself, you know. So anyways, Gemini. I had a birthday in Gemini season. I am a Gemini. So I did not get to much journaling. So we don't have much to talk about as far as the journaling goes, because I spent a lot of time this season trying to connect with people. And because I pulled this card from the personal power deck that I've been using, every astrological sign has a card and an affirmation. And the affirmation for Gemini was I am connected. And so when I pulled that, I thought, well, I don't feel so connected. So I think I'm going to try to make that a priority for this season. And so that's what I did. I tried, and I'll show that to you because I did keep some notes about that in my journal. For every decan, I kept a page like this with the dates, the decks used. I tried to keep track of the decks that I used. It was hard because sometimes I just pick up decks willy nilly, y'all. I can't keep track of everything, but I did try to keep track. And I did keep track of notable events in my life, energy that I noticed happening in the world around me, in my personal life. So I'm not gonna show too much of that, but I did keep track of that during the season, and I keep track of that for each decan. So I keep a page like this for every decan. So this was Gemini 1, and Gemini 1 is the Lord of Interference, or the Lord of Shortened Force. And what was notable to me for Gemini 1 that I journaled about was that it is a time when Jupiter, because this is Jupiter in Gemini, the world or the Wheel of Fortune in Gemini. So it was that Jupiter was in detriment, and it cannot therefore expand to its full potential. So it is shortened force, right? And so you feel, as a result of that, this Eight of Swords energy where things are feeling constricted. And so I like that. And then I got this restless energy card because I pull these cards from the what is the name of this deck? It's the Witching Hour Oracle. I'll post links for all of these decks below, so that you can check them out. I do have Amazon affiliate links if you do want to purchase. The restless energy card is the one for the first decan of Gemini season. These go by the moons, but they also coordinate with the decans. So I've been pulling them out. And as I said, the I am connected card, that one stayed out. So the lovers and I am connected stayed. But I'll show you that when we get to the cards. So the thing that, like I said, the thing that stood out to me the most here was that Jupiter in detriment, being constrained, not being able to expand in the way that Jupiter normally does. And then I also took this quote, which I think was from the 36 Secrets, I think it's called. The crippling effect of too much space and too many opportunities. So Jupiter being the planet of expansion, when you have too much expansion, especially in the mind, too many thoughts, because we are in the suit of the mind, and Gemini, we're in the swords, it can be crippling. And so that made sense for, feeling constricted because you have too many thoughts and you're just feeling kind of shrunken down to, I need to be, I'm feeling stuck, right? So I liked that. I could put that together. That made sense to me. I was cool with these. Sometimes they don't make any sense and I feel like they're stretching, but for this one I enjoyed. I really love this chart. This was in the 36 Secrets, where she started giving in Gemini, she started giving advice on how to get out, because all of the Gemini cards are really kind of, those swordsy, um, anxiety ridden cards, right? And so she started giving advice on ways to get out of those situations. And she started with Gemini 1, which she gave us this chart where she was like, okay, so if you're in this situation, you can wait for a change, 8 of Swords, or you can walk away, 8 of Cups, or you can get busy, 8 of Coins, or you can quiet your mind, with the 8 of, just, lean in and quiet your mind with the 8 of Swords. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool that she started giving that. So I put that there. And then I was very busy during Gemini season, so I didn't do a whole lot of writing. Mostly what I did was like take pictures of the books and drop them in here. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So then this was the Connecting with Jupiter tarot spread that I did. I pulled this from Biddy Tarot. I just Google when I'm doing these, I Google, the planet or the energy that I want to do a spread for, and normally they'll pop right up. So I Googled this, and this is from Biddy Tarot. So I did that, and I used these decks, and I journaled below. And then I I made a note here that I am going to squeeze the expansion out of this Decan, rather it's in detriment or not. So for Gemini 2, I moved right on. I did not do the spread from Marlena Teresa for Gemini 1. I did the I didn't get to it, so I just kept moving. I just kept it moving. So for Gemini 2, same thing, kept the decks used and the notable energy, notable events. So Gemini 2 was the Lord of Cruelty, or the Lord of Despair. And so here we had the Tower again, and I was like, oh, here we go with this Tower again. I don't like the Tower card if you're new here. So I made a whole video about how I don't like the Tower card because, I had to. I just had to do it. I just had to do it. So if you want to see that, of course, I'll link it in the cards for you. But I kind of just looked into this a little, tried to use it to look into this 9 of Swords a little bit deeper. So, Mars fire meets Gemini air. So you've got, it says, which brings an arsenal of weaponry at his disposal. I think I took that from the 36 Secrets. I thought that was cool because it was like Mars is the tower and meets this air. And so now we've got fire and air just kind of whipping up and becoming craziness, right? So if you think about it, like when fire, like if you've got a concealed fire in a room and you open the door and let in air, it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get like wild, right? And so that's kind of like how this person is feeling, like mind racing, thoughts racing, just a lot, and so I liked that. I thought that really kind of brought brought the energy into one sentence. So I put that there. And so she also said in Gemini, Mars doesn't play war games. He plays mind games, which I like that as well. And then there was another quote that said, "It's very real in our minds, and what do we have but our minds to perceive the world around us?" And so I like that as well. I also made note that Mars is associated with the head and headaches and blood, which I never knew. And so I thought that was very interesting. I also discovered these little stickers in my good notes, so you can see that I was playing with those a little bit. And I just made some notes about the themes. I did do the spread that Marlena gave us. I thought the spread was kick-ass. So I did this one. I'd like the first one as well. I just didn't have time to get to it. I love these spreads that she gives us. And like I said, I will link her playlist below where you can find all of her stuff if you're interested. But, I just didn't have time. I was busy. So I did do it this time on Gemini 2. And I enjoyed my work with that. I used an angel deck and my Soul Trees Ascension, which I love. I think I also used one of my favorite deck, or probably my favorite deck, the Super Lunaris Tarot. So I just kind of, I had a good time with this one. She gave us a spread that we could use even later if we were, dealing with some anxiety. Now, I wasn't dealing with any anxiety in Gemini 2. I didn't really feel that coming in, but I thought that it was interesting, and so I did the spread. So the first position was the fall. Where am I punishing myself? And then she gave us the angel, a message from a trusted source. So I pulled from an angel deck. And then the head, stop worrying over this. So I pulled from my Soul Trees Ascension deck. And then the hands, start doing this, also Soul Trees Ascension. And then the blanket, my safe space. So I pulled that from the angel deck. And I thought that was fun to just kind of mix up the decks and mix up those energies. And so I really enjoyed that. And I'm going to keep this in my like um arsenal of what are these spreads? My word just went completely out of my head to think about that at another time. So now I talked about how I was trying my best to make connections, and I did some planning. I said I was going to plan some connections, and then I did have some unplanned connections happen. So the planning, let's see what we got. We can do it right here on camera. I am going to change the color and get a big, okay. I was planning to comment on every video I saw. That did not happen. I was not able to do that. It was not a good plan. Really, it wasn't a what do you call it? A smart goal. It was not actionable. I could not ever comment on every video I watch. Sometimes I listen to them when I'm driving and I don't even watch them. Sometimes I'm watching them while I'm doing chores and things like that. I can't comment on every video I see. But, I tried to comment on as many as I could. On Instagram, I was planning to share some things about the Decan walk. I don't know that really happens, but I think I did post a good amount of Instagram. I did a good amount of Instagram posts. So I'm going to give myself a check for that one. Post on RIAIG. That was my Robin Isaacs audio Instagram. I haven't really been caring for it in the way that I should. I did make a post. I joined in on a book-a-thon, I think it's what it's called, or read-a-thon, which helped me with a idea for content for that page, which I need to do better. I have to get back into posting on that page. And then Tarot Club. I joined Tarot. My goal was to. I joined Tarot Club at the end of Taurus season, and I was planning to try to do as many meetings as I could, and I went to 2. So I'm giving myself a check for that. I did pretty good on the 2 Tarot Club. If you don't know about Tarot Club, this is something that you can check out on Meredith's channel at the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot. She also has a meditation page. So I will put a link for that below as well, so that you can pop over to her video about that and get all the information if you're interested in Tarot Club. But it's basically like just a meetup where we get on Zoom and we talk about tarot. And I did it twice in the Gemini season, which I thought was pretty good. So I was feeling pretty proud of myself. Girls trip, check. We did that. That was a lot of fun. Hadn't seen my girls in a while, a couple of years, with all of the craziness that was going on. Traveling wasn't really something that I had been doing. So it was nice to do that again and connect with my friends IRL. Family gathering, yes, check. We did that. My family came. They're actually still around, and which is probably why this video may be late. So the tarot bookathon or tarot readathon, whatever it's called, I joined, and I have been trying to keep up with these people over on BookTube, y'all. I cannot read like they read. I don't have it in me, but I'm trying my best. So what I did was I started trying to integrate guidebooks, because I like to read guidebooks, and I have a lot of guidebooks sitting around here that I want to read, and they're short and I can get to the end quicker. And so I feel like I've accomplished something. You know what I mean? So that's what I did with Bookathon, but that was definitely an unplanned way to connect. Shout out to Scarlet Moon Creations for helping me get on Discord, because I could not figure out how to get on Discord. I didn't know nothing about it, and she helped, and she sent me screenshots. I mean, she helped me work it out. So thank you so much. I will definitely, I'm very grateful to her for helping me with that. Any channels I'm mentioning, like I said, I'll post in the description box below. Check her out. She's great. She just did a Garden Arcana one that it was great. I really enjoyed her video. So now I did a couple of unasked for VRs, which I think that counts as connection, right? I did make a few new connections with deck creators. And I did a few reviews for that. So yeah, I was feeling pretty good about that. I caught up with a few of my friends. That was the biggest thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to try to catch up with some of my friends that I hadn't spoken to in a while, you know, how things go. And so that was exciting. So I think I did pretty good for connection. Then we came into Gemini 3, which we are in right now. And I mean, this is my birthday deck, and I hadn't had time to do much of anything. I read the books, and you know, I took some pictures of this is basically word. I just scanned these words right out of the tarot and astrology book and just dropped them here because I thought it was good, and I was like, all right, bet we're good. I did the spread, but I didn't interpret it, and pretty much this is pretty clear to me. So even if I look at this a year from now, I'm still gonna know what it means. So I don't need to interpret that. We're good. And so that's it for my journal. Like, I'm done. Like, that's it. Gemini is the sign associated with communication, logical thought processes based on duality, and the conscious mind. Gemini people tend to be airy and intellectual, glib of tongue, and curious about life and other people. They can experience two sides of things at the same time and may tend to be flighty, which I think sometimes I say, because as a Gemini, I don't know that, you know, people call us flighty, but I don't think we're flighty. I think, honestly, I think we just move quickly. Our minds move fast, and we move through a situation and out the other end before people can really understand that we've even been there. So it seems like we're flighty, but it's just that we are just like, we move quick. Like we really do. Our minds are always moving. So, yeah, I think that's kind of like, that's just how I understand myself anyway. So the symbol is the twins. The ruling planet is Mercury. House ruled is the third house. Element is air. It is a mutable sign, meaning that it comes towards the end of a season when we're moving into a new season, and it is changeable. So it fluctuates, or we move easily. We change from one to the other so that it makes it a smooth transition from one season to the next. And the keyword is communicate. Just so that you know, the third house is the house of communication. Just so, in case you were wondering, like, what do you mean by third house? Third house is the house of communication, which is why it rules the third house. Another thing I also noticed about this Decan, which was kind of fun, or about this deck, this is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, was that because I wanted to pull out a deck that, wait, let me just make some space here so you can see. I wanted to pull out a deck that had a sun that had two people, because normally the sun has, well, not normally, but often the sun has two people, and that would be the twins, right, for the Gemini. So I wanted it to be match. And then of course, so I pulled this deck out because this is the newest one that I have that has the sun with two people, and I kind of like this deck. I've been kind of obsessed with it lately, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that out. And then I got the lovers out, and the lovers is completely I was like, damn it. So it's not a match to this. So I was like, okay, well, and then I started looking at them. And if you look at them, they kind of match each other, right? So like here we have our twins and our twins. And you know, the coloring is similar. And then here we have this sort of, I don't know if I want to call it like this movement or this line that kind of like comes in and swirls and goes down. That's the same as this coming in and swirling and going down. We have the red, and then we had these red apples and the white of the horse and the white of the flowers. And I feel like they come together, and this one comes together. So I thought that was cool. And it's just something to note. That's just me being a nerd. For Gemini 1, the cards that I used the most were these, because I was on vacation at the beach and I took these with me. So I took the Squid Cake Marseille because it's my newest tiny deck. And just so you know, I have the rubber band on here because this box does not stay close. It like comes right apart, and so I put the rubber band. But with the rubber band, no more problems. This is the Squid Cake Marseille by Jess Roller, produced by Rockpool Publishing. It is. I was doing the Marseille for May, and the beginning of Gemini season is still in May, so I was still using Marseille. So I took this one with me, and it did not disappoint. I really enjoyed it. It's super cute. It's really tiny. I threw the cards. Oh, I did a couple of readings for my friends while I was gone, and we used a stack. I used a stack and it was cute and it's light and airy and I enjoyed it. So this is the Squid Cake Marseille. I don't have much to say except for it's cute. The guidebook is cute. The guidebook is actually interesting. It talks about the the pips and the way that my big Marseille book does. So that's nice. But it's tiny. The writing is tiny. It's hard to see. I can't. My eyes are bad, and it's hard to read this for me. I have to strain. So I mean, this is easier to read, but this is almost impossible. And I think it's because it's so light. If they would have just made it dark like this, it would have been fine. But because they were trying to do this graphic design thing where they made this light and that dark, I can't see this. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is, if I want to read these, actually want to refer to this, is I'm gonna have to go in and with a magnifying glass and then just write the words down here so I have them. I may write them on the cards. We'll see. But yeah, this is the Squid Cake Marseille. Super cute. Enjoyed that one. And the other one is the Tempest. This is the Tempest Tarot. I got this from Etsy some time ago. Maybe 2 years ago now. Was it 2022 or 2021? I can't remember. But I like this deck. Loved it. It is Pip-ish. So it was on my list for Marseille because I was doing Marseille and Pips for May. And I was just going to bring Tempest Tarot for real because I was going to the beach. I was just going to bring Tempest Tarot, but Squid Cake really wanted to go. It told me it wanted to go. It was very adamant, so it went. And I actually ended up using Squid Cake more than I did the Tempest Tarot, but I was happy to have it with me anyway. I actually took this deck out to the beach with me, and I made a video, which it'll come if I ever get it. I'm trying to edit it. The sound is awful, but I may just put it up with the sound awful. I don't know. We'll see. But like, because I'm not no sound engineer. It is what it is. I mean, it's just my little YouTube channel. Nobody cares what my sound sounds like. But anyways, this is the Tempest Tarot. I really enjoy this deck. I love the theme. I love the coloring. I love this deck. I think it's the white space. I do love white space, especially when I'm dealing with pippy decks, because I like the open nature of a pip reading, and then the white space also leaves things very open. So I like that. But this is cute. It's very beachy. I was dying to take it with me to the beach, and I haven't been to the beach since I bought it. So I was dying to bring this with me. And even though this one, the what is this thing called? The Squid Cake Marseille was determined to go with me to the beach. It told me so. And so I had to bring the Squid Cake. This one was still coming with me. So I actually brought 2 decks with me, which I would never usually do. But I did that because I really wanted to bring this one to the beach. Okay, so in Gemini 2, these were my most used decks. Let's start with this one. The Heavenly Bloom Tarot is a deck that I like to pull out. It seems like during spring. Now, I think I've only had the deck 2 years, but when I got it, I didn't use it, and then I pulled it out during spring, and I was obsessed. And then it went away in my summer box, and then I just pulled it out, and I didn't use it until this season, and then I just wanted it. And so I feel like this is going to be a deck like that, a spring deck. And I used this deck for a few readings, and I read the guidebook finally, which I hadn't done before. And mostly what I did with this is I did my readathon. So it's a tarot readathon that is over on BookTube. And it's for the month of June, so it's actually still going on, and it will be going on through the beginning of Cancer season until the end of June. So what you have to do is you pull a card, and every card has a prompt. And so whichever card you pull, you read a book based on that prompt. And so I was using this deck to do those pulls, and I'm gotta tell you, one or two of them I got spot on. I pulled it once, pulled one card, and I was able to use that prompt. And I would say more than often than not, I pulled more than one card. So I would pull a card and I'd be like, nah, I can't do that prompt. And then I pull another one. I just keep pulling until I found one that worked for me. And then what I did was I tried to pick guidebooks. I started trying to pick guidebooks that I wanted to read that matched the prompts. And yeah, it worked. It worked for me. And I was able to get some pages in. Now, not as many pages as some of them, but I got some in. And so I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the guidebook. The world building with this deck is fabulous. And the guidebook is not long. It's only maybe like 70 or 80 pages, but it gets you what you need. And the characters, it's fun. And so I spent a lot of time. Here's the deck back out again because I'm not done talking and gabbing. It's Gemini season, y'all. Um, I spent a lot of time, just laying the cards out with the characters that are the same on the cards together to see how their story built. And I just spent a lot of time with this deck this month, and I didn't regret it. I really like this deck. I always want to use this deck during this time. I don't know why, but it just calls to me during this time. It was the same last year. I didn't want to use it until I wanted to use it. And it's the same with this year, I think. So I think this is just going to be one of those decks that I just use when I get ready, And this is the Heavenly Bloom Tarot by Noah Akita, published by US Game Systems. Next up, Tarot of the Witch's Garden. I think this came in during Gemini season. I don't know, but I know I used it a lot during Gemini 2. And I actually on into Gemini 3, which we're sitting in now, and I really like this deck. I think it's beautiful. It's cute. The artwork is gorgeous. It's an easy reader because it's basically a RWS. I wouldn't call it a clone, but it's close. It's close enough. And it has a lot of hidden symbolism that I'm finding new things every time I read with it. So I enjoy that. And it's pretty, and it's easy to shuffle, which is nice for just grab and go readings. So yeah, I've been using this one a lot. And this one got heavy use in Gemini 2. So this is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. If you want to see my thoughts about this, I have a whole long chatty walkthrough of it you can check the tarot walkthroughs playlist. So I got this deck in for review and it charmed me. This is cool. This is the Woven Spirit Oracle. It is super beautiful, kind of trippy, chakra energy. Here are the backs. It's gorgeous. I like the artwork. The keywords are great. They're expansive. They're great for thematic use. So if you want to just get an energy for the day, you can, and then throw some cards around it. I enjoy using this deck. It's actually also really good for a clarifier. And the colors are fun. There's chakra indications in the colors. So I had a good time playing with that because I've been super into chakras lately and I'm trying to learn more about them. And this helped me practice. So I really enjoyed this deck. I like this. I used it a lot during Gemini 2. And matter of fact, it's still out on my table. So I can't promise you that I'm not going to be using this again in Cancer season because I haven't put it away yet. So this is the Woven Spirit Oracle. This is by Lorraine Sadler, published by US Game Systems. I actually use this a lot in conjunction with, hang on, I'll get you this one, the Neoteric Feminine Tarot. It's a good deck, and it goes really nicely with this one. So I've been using them kind of together when I want fun pastel-y colors in my readings. So yeah, this is, oh goodness, reversals. I don't know how these decks be getting reversed like this, but they want to be reversed, man. This one kept coming up reversed. When I was doing readings with it, it really wants to be reversed. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. It could be reversed. So that means instead of having 44 messages, now I have 88 messages. That's cool with me. I'll take that. And so, yeah, I've been using this deck with reversals and it's been cool. Yeah, I've just been doing the reversals as blocked energy or energy that's not quite right. And I like this combo. So this is, again, the Neoteric Feminine with the Woven Spirit Oracle. Neoteric Feminine is by Spell. You can find this one on Amazon. Gemini 3. I got decks. Okay, so first up, let's talk about Oracle of Destiny. So this is a deck that I got in for review. It's super cool, guys. I have a whole video on this. Check it out. It's in my Oracle walkthroughs playlist. I will try to link it for you, but if I don't, you're gonna have to give me some grace. I have family in town, so it might not be linked when the video first goes up. But this deck is cool. So this mixes palmistry with cartomancy, and what they have done is put different aspects of palmistry, different aspects of your hands, and things that you pay attention to in palmistry on the cards. They've illustrated them on the cards and been very clear in the guidebook, and they have mixed like the energy that you would present to your querent if you were reading their hand with a divination meaning. So you can either use it to read your querent's hand or read your own hand, or you can use it just straight up for divination based on the energy of, you know, that line or aspect of your hand or whatever. And I really enjoy it. Not to mention that this artwork is super cute. It's busy, but it's cute. So I really enjoyed this a lot. I did a whole pick a card with it. I have been using it probably every day, pulling a card, comparing it to my hand, just enjoying it, reading from the guidebook. And the guidebook gives you, so if you're looking for the sun line, it shows you the picture. It gives you a really clever picture that depicts the divination meaning, but then it also always puts the line on there. So it's hidden in the picture, but it is there. But then it gives you this here to show you kind of what part of your hand you would look at to find that line, right? And then it talks to you about what the sun line is about and what it means if you have a sun line that looks like this or that, or if it's near that or this. And then it gives you a divinatory meaning as well. It's a really great guidebook. And it also in the front tells you about reading hands, reading palms, and which quadrants of your hands mean what, and all that kind of, it's really fun. I've been enjoying this. I've just been enjoying this. This is just something new and fresh and different that I liked. So I've been doing this in Gemini 3. I probably will bring this on into Cancer with me. I'm still having a good time with this deck. And this is the Oracle of Destiny. This is by Azora D'Agostino and Paola Vecchi. This is published by US Game Systems. Next up is the Divine Feather Messenger deck. This is a fabulous deck. So I got in a deck for review called Auspicious Symbols for Luck and Healing a few months back. And it sent me down a whole rabbit hole for Alison DeNicola decks. I have been pretty obsessed. And I think I'm going to do a video on my new Alison DeNicola decks, but so I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I really enjoy this. This is a deck of feathers, and it talks about feather messengers and what they can mean. And on the front of the cards, there are different birds, and then there is, sort of an inspirational message here. In the guidebook, of course, and true Alison DeNicola fashion, you get a full, description of why she chose that bird, what she thinks the message would be. She gives you energies, the season, the element, the color, and an affirmation. So so when I find myself looking out of the window and catching a bird, like looking right at me or walking right past me, I will pick out this deck and choose a feather. I will just pick one that calls to me, and then I'll read the message, and then I'll set the message up on my table or wherever I am so that I can see it, and just let it sit there until I see another bird that looks at me, because sometimes I just wonder like what they're trying to say to me, So this is Divine Feather Messenger, Messages of Healing, Inspiration, and Wisdom by Alison DeNicola, artwork by David Sharir. I'm not sure how to say that. This is published by US Game Systems. So just real quick, I'm still working with Heavenly Bloom Tarot. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. And the last deck that has been, I've been pretty obsessed with is the Tarot of the Abyss. For some reason, I just want to use this deck all the time right now. And I think it's because it's black and white. I think maybe because I've been using so many decks with so much color lately. I go in and out of, my tastes are eclectic, I guess I should say. And I go in and out. Like sometimes I want a lot of color and sometimes I don't want any. And I think because I've been using so much color lately, I'm starting to get into the space where I'm leaning more towards, bringing the color out for a little while. And so I think that's why I'm being so drawn to this deck. So this is what I've been using for a lot of Gemini 3. Really been enjoying it. And oh, you know what? There's one more deck that I have been using a lot to pull just morning messages. So this is, we know Tarot of the Abyss. We don't need to belabor this. Let's get into the other deck because that one is kind of different. Okay, so this is the last one. This is Animal Healing Oracle Divine Chakra Illumination deck by Britta Bauman. This deck is cool. It is an animal deck, which I love animal decks, and I'm afraid of bugs also. So there are some bugs in here, but I have fixed them. I covered them with stickers. So this was a scarab beetle. They are actual images of the animals, and this scarab beetle was terrifying to me. I couldn't do it. But I really love this Chaos Magic Soul Star Chakra card. So I just put this this is actually a sticker from Tarot of the Abyss. I mean Tarot of the Tempest Tarot. So I put the sticker here. I hadn't used it, and when I bought the deck 2 years, it's been sitting around my house. I stuck it here. I feel like it goes good with Chaos Magic, so I fixed it. So that's what I did. I put the cards back in. If you saw my review where I was like, oh, I took these cards out, I fixed them. I put them back in, and I just put some stickers over the pictures that I didn't like. So because the messages are really good on this deck. So she has all of these animals, and then you get an animal, you get a keyword, you get a chakra, and she does 7 plus 2. So she does the soul star and the earth star chakras. And then you get a message, which I think these messages are really inspirational and great. So I've been pulling one every morning. So for instance, this is Lion, Illumination, Soul Star Chakra. You are a being of royal majesty. Don't be afraid of your power. Let your divine radiance illuminate the world. Yeah, so my card for today, hang on, let me see if I can get it, is the owl. I got generator, third eye chakra. So what are you seeing in your mind's eye? Whatever you can imagine, you can create. Use the power of your inner vision wisely. So that was my message for today. So I've really been enjoying using this. I have a review of it. I think it was recent. It should have come out just recently before this one comes out. It just came out. In the time that I'm filming this, it just came out like a week ago. So it should be, or a few days ago. I don't know. It's up. It's up. So you can find it in the Oracle playlist if you want to see more about this deck, if you want to see all the cards and what I think and how I've been using it. So this is another one. This was a scorpion. Terrifying, man. So I put the sticker over it because it's spiritual path. So I put open your eyes, open your mind on there. Solar plexus chakra. I probably should have put something more solar plexus-y, but that was big enough to cover the scorpion. So so that's how I fixed the deck, and I have been using this pretty much every day. So yeah, that's it for my decks, and that's it for my Gemini season wrap up. This is actually kind of long. I'm going to try to cut this down. I didn't think it was going to be long because I didn't get to much. But I guess I got to more than I thought I did. And I'm chatty because it's Gemini season. So sorry about that. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. It helps me know that you guys want to see more videos like this from me. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and it also helps the algorithms and things like that for people to find the channel. And I appreciate it. Also, comment below. I love talking to you guys. So if you have anything you want to say, feel free to put it in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram. I am cool with that. I will probably chat you up right back. I'll probably talk your ear off. So, or, type your ear off or whatever. Type your eyes off. I don't know. That sounds crazy. Anyways, I'm feeling chatty. Anyways, so until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.